The Sandy case is approximately 6 nautical miles away from Pag-asa Island. A few moments later, our ships received radio challenges from China, which the Philippine side immediately responded to. But it was not just verbal threats. The Chinese ships attacked the BFAR vessel with water cannons. Two Chinese Coast Guard vessels, CCG vessels 5102 and 21559, relentlessly bombarded the three Philippine vessels. Despite China's aggressive actions, the Filipino crew continued their mission. Tensions escalated further when Chinese maritime militia performed dangerous maneuvers. The militia vessels had their own water cannons too. They even tried to block the path of the BFAR vessels.
What we can conclude between the Chinese maritime militia and the Chinese Coast Guard is that they are taking orders from the Chinese Coast Guard when it comes to dangerous maneuver, blocking, and even threatening ordinary Filipino fishermen.
At 9:18 Sunday morning, the CCG deliberately rammed the rear part of BRP Dato Pagbuaya. Causing minor damage to its railing. No Filipino crew members were injured in the intentional crash, and the ship safely navigated their way back to Pag-asa.
This is the closest that the Chinese Coast Guard harassed and bullied BFAR vessel. It only has a distance of 1.6 to 1.8 nautical miles. Yes, very close to Pag-asa. All of those actions of the Chinese government, whether it's near a particular maritime feature that we occupy, it's always been very concerning because we are dealing with the lives of the crew of the BFAR or even the Philippine Coast Guard personnel.
According to the Philippine Coast Guard, this was a clear act of bullying by China against the Philippines. They also belied the claims of China that Philippine ships were expelled out of the case.
I don't think that they expelled the Philippine vessels. The mere fact that we never deported Pag-asa, how can they claim that they expelled? As I said, the presence of the Coast Guard, the Armed Forces of the Philippines remain to be in Pag-asa.
Several instances of harassment from China have been recorded this year, including one where two Chinese vessels collided with each other while harassing a Philippine Coast Guard ship. The embassies of the US, United Kingdom, Japan, and Australia have condemned the aggression at the West Philippine Sea. The Department of Foreign Affairs meanwhile confirmed that they will file a diplomatic protest. Philippine Senators Kiko Pangilinan and Jinggoy Estrada have also condemned China's recent aggression. Despite these actions, the Philippine forces will continue to maintain their presence in the West Philippine Sea, especially in the Kalayaan group of islands. This is to protect Filipino fishermen in the waters that are part of Philippine territory. Jervis Manaman, ABS-CBN News.
A survey shows a majority of Filipinos want ex-Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte to be put on trial for his alleged crimes against humanity. His son, Davao Congressman Paulo Duterte, is told by Malacanang to stop threatening the officials involved in the former president's arrest. Zen Hernandez reports.
It has been 7 months since former President Rodrigo Duterte was detained at The Hague in the Netherlands, charged with crimes against humanity in connection with the killings in Davao City and during his administration's war on drugs. A recent opinion poll reveals that half of Filipinos believe the former president should be held accountable. That's according to the SWS survey conducted from September 24 to 30, commissioned by the Stratbase Group. Many of those who are in favor of accountability are from Luzon and Visayas, while many of those who disagree are from Mindanao, the Duterte family's bailiwick. Families of victims of extrajudicial killings, meanwhile, are growing more impatient by the day. They, however, welcome the pre-trial chamber's decision rejecting Duterte's plea for interim release. For them, Duterte is lucky for enjoying due process while detained in what most describe as a hotel-like facility in The Hague, unlike their loved ones who were killed without even the chance to explain themselves. According to one of the victims' lawyers, ICC detainees have many privileges, including phone access and extended family visits.
200 minutes free. You can message your defense counsel at any time. And you can have access to all documents. You can have access to visits. So hindi po ito yung nakalock in siya sa kwarto. He can go to the gym, he can go to the library, he can go to the common area, he can go to and they also have a makeshift kitchen.
Among the pretrial chamber's basis for denying Duterte's interim release were the risks of flight, obstruction of justice, and commission of further crimes. But Duterte ally Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa denied all these claims, saying the former president is already old and frail, even if he hasn't visited him personally.
Skin and bones lang na. Medyo talagang kailangan na tumayo. So that's sitwasyon na ngayon. So sana mapagbigyan yung ganyan release.
Malacanang, for its part, responded to what it perceives is a threat from Congressman Paulo Duterte, who said those responsible for his father's supposed kidnapping and transfer to The Hague will pay for their actions.
Wala po tayo sa isang barbaric world. So dapat po tayong tumugon kung ano po ang rule of law at hindi po tayo dapat natatakot o lagi na lamang nabubuhay sa pananakot.
Castro clarified that the Marcos administration has nothing to do with the ICC case, which was filed back in 2017 during Duterte's term. She added that it's best to leave the next legal steps to the former president's lawyers.